Hi guys, Russell here, and this is my video build log of a Roman Legionnaire. I believe the 1st century, if my Spanish is still pretty good. If not, I'm sure some of you out there in the Iberian Peninsula can help me out, or Latin America, or wherever Spanish is spoken. Anyway, I've had this figure for, I'm embarrassed to say, but over a decade. He was one of the first figures, large-scale figures outside of 1/35 that I ever acquired at a model show, and we can see that I picked him up for $8, which is a great deal of savings. We know that a lot of you, if you're on a budget, some of these big name companies like Andrea or Scale 75 or Pegaso, they come with a big price tag. So I've been slowly collecting figures at the model shows, picking up whatever I can get. Though definitely those big names I just mentioned, I'd love to get my hands on some of those and try them out. But that will be someday in the future. So really just want to go into what this figure is all about. So the company is El Viejo Dragon. I'm not sure what year this kit is. The instructions don't really say much. They give a website and email address, but I don't know. It's from Madrid, Spain, and no name of the sculptor. So it's a mystery figure. It's probably from the late 90s or early 2000s. So what does the figure come with? Alright, so we get this guy out of the box here, and I started him already, so I just want to warn you, but I'll explain a few things. So it comes with this really nice resin base, with his little foot tabs, which looks pretty cool. He comes with an option of 2 Roman heads with 2 Roman style helmets. I guess one style, I don't know if we can focus, it's such a little guy. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So those are the helmets. They're pretty cool. Let me see if we can center it a little bit. Yeah, pretty sweet. Okay, those are the heads. Awesome. So we got some optional pieces. He's got his shield. It's all white metal. The reverse, unfortunately, looks like that. So I've been doing a little bit of research online to figure out if I need to add anything. I might put in some sort of handholds where you would put your hands, because the way this figure is positioned, you will be able to see the reverse of the shield. Alright. And he comes with his little, I believe it's called the Pilium, or Pilia, I don't know. It's been a while since I read Polybius's Rise of the Roman Empire, but this is his spear, and let's see if we can focus. No, yeah, there's a little bit. That's the handle and the piece, and the little tip broke off. I've been doing some research online, and I think it's a little short, and I think I can do a better job with scratch building, making it better. So I probably won't use this. Well, here's the figure. We'll just put him here. I mounted him on a block of wood. It was very inexpensive, and we'll talk about that soon. But let's pop him off his base and bring him up close to look at the detail. So he's got all his things. He's got his gladius on his right, and he has some sort of short dagger on his left. He's got some trousers, sandals, tunic, his armor, belts, and on the reverse, he got all that. What did I do so far? Well, like a lot of figure painters, I mounted his foot with some rod. He originally came with some white metal pour plug, like you would see with resin casting, so that he would fit onto this base. Unfortunately, the base is a little too big for my base, and I didn't want to use a bigger block, and I said heck with that. So I cut out the pour plugs and drilled a hole using my Dremel or rotary tool, and stuck in some steel rod. You can use whatever you have available. He is a little top heavy, so I figured I would give him a nice piece of steel, and just, he's probably going right through his ankle into his lower leg. So there it is. His hands, the molding was actually pretty good on the body overall. Not much flash, but his hands were really kind of crude, so I did a lot of filing and work. You can still see some lines, and I'm going to have to go in with some surface putty, Mr. Surfacer 500 or something, and brush it in and fill in a few spots. His hands were separate, and you can see he's kind of like wiggling. But I actually put in some steel rod in the joints for the arms because there was nothing available. It was either just super glue it in, and because he's holding a shield and I got him on a baseboard, I wanted some time to manipulate the appendages so I can get a good positioning for the shield and all that stuff. So I put in some rods in his arms, and they're all loose, nothing's glued yet, and they're in. And I actually found out that the arm holding the shield is actually, it could be a little bit lower down, so it's nice I got that rod in there so that I can deal with that once I work. So you can see there's a nice big gap there, and I'll just use some milliput putty, fill in those gaps, and he'll be looking pretty good. Alright, so let's put him down here. What else do I got? What am I going to add to this guy? Well, his shield is really cool, and if you've read any books or seen pictures of these Roman shields or any shields of the ancient period, they were definitely highly decorated. And there's no way I can paint this. So, obviously, there's got to be a way to get around it. And I did do some homework and found some cool stuff. Luckily, Andrea Miniatures provides you, or us, with dry transfers. And we have all kinds of Roman decor in many scales. It looks like we have 172 going all the way up to maybe 75mm, I don't know. But this is very nice. So I got some cool options. And when he's all done, I'll put on these transfers. The base is, well, there's nothing there yet, and I have lots of options of what I can do. I was lucky in my part of the world that the model shows. We get some interesting vendors from wherever trying to sell interesting items. So this one individual, they represent Monroe Purdue Studios, and they produce a lot of interesting accessory things using some material. So he has this looks like cobblestone. It may or may not be the right scale for the figure that we're doing, but I think it's kind of neat. Nevertheless, I like the color. You can just mount it on, cut around it, and from what I was told by the vendors, it takes paint very well and clear coats. I actually like the tan color right now. It kind of has that desert feel or Mediterranean, Middle East feel. So I might just do that. I did acquire a sheet, and so it comes with this large sheet you can cut out and do whatever you want with. So I'll probably just cut it and trim it to fit and glue it down. When the time's ready, maybe put a little bit of grass in some of the cracks to give it that nice look. Alright, and the staining of the base, I'll have to find a color that I like suitable and I'll stain it. The instructions are limited, but this is what it came with. And you got your English section on the bottom. It gives a little bit of detail about the history of this soldier and how his molding. It gives you the details of the helmets and the styles. On the reverse, we have the color call out, which is pretty basic. There's plenty of pictures on the internet. I just typed Roman Legionary 1st century and like a million things came up. And it gives you a basic color scheme. And this is pretty much what I'm going to follow. Alright, so there's not much else I can add at the moment other than I'm gonna get them assembled and start with some painting, and we'll see what progress is like. Alright, this is Russ Gosselin signing out. Have fun, and I'll see you again here on YouTube. Goodbye.